P, list 7, and we've got 3 sounds we're dealing with in this list. So there's not a lot of words that we could use, so we've put the 3 in together. So we've got blood, bull, dirt. So we're using the double O for the sound, and in flood. Oyster, we're using the oi sound. At the end of a syllable or word, we may use OY. So we've got oyster, royal, voyage, and annoy, and destroy. And then we've got the U making the sound in puss, octopus, platypus, and butcher. So we've got 3 different sounds there. Now the other things we've got here, we've got the ER on the end of oyster, the AL on the end of royal, voyage. We can't use a J on the end of words, so we use GE. We've got the double N in annoy, so this must be a short vowel sound with the A. Destroy, that's pretty much just breaking it into 2 syllables. We'd split that one there. Destroy. Octopus, you know octo means 8. Platypus, just be careful, you've got that Y in the middle there. And butcher, you've got the ER on the end, and after that short vowel sound, you've got TCH. Okay, let's go through and look at what each of these words mean. So we've got blood, which is a red liquid inside our bodies. A flood is a large overflow of water. An oyster is a mollusk that we may eat. Royal usually relates to a king or queen, a royal family. Voyage is a long journey that we may go on. Annoy is when someone irritates you or you irritate someone else. Destroy is when something is ruined. An octopus, octo means 8, so this animal has 8 arms, you can see that. It's a sea creature. A platypus is an egg-laying Australian mammal, very unusual for a mammal to lay eggs, so it's quite unique. A butcher is someone who sells meat. Right, let's go back and read, sound, spell and write the words and then check them to make sure they're right. So we've got blood, blood, blood. Now the B, you can do a loop. You can do a loop on the L if you want to as well. It becomes a choice thing, or you can do it without the loop as well. Now it's very important that you read these words, you sound them, and then you link the sound to the letters that you're using in this particular word to spell it, because there are different ways of writing that sound. So double O in these words is one of the ways that we can make that sound. In these words, you'll need to go through and highlight the double O for the sound in these words, the OY making the oi sound in these words, and the U making the sound in these 3 words. So go through and do that first, you can then do your read, sound and write. Down here we're looking at and reminding you that OY may be used at the end of a word or syllable. So that's why we've given you these words here where you've got it at the end of a syllable, and we've also included some where it's at the end of a word. You can fill in the missing oi sound or sound or sound in these words here, then write the words to match their meaning. Now down here you're looking for an adjective or a noun that goes with the given word. Now we're looking at common word pairs here. So there may be a couple of answers that you could write, but we're looking for the most common. Down the bottom, fill in the gap with the missing list word. That's an easy one for you to do. You're using these words at the top, of course. Our words today are blood, flood, oyster, royal, voyage, annoy, destroy, octopus, platypus and butcher. So first of all you have to go through and read the word, sound, spell and cover and write it, and then go back and check that you've spelt them correctly. Then we're going on to write the list word in its plural form. Now you've got some tricky nouns in here. So octopus, for example, the plural form could be octopos or octopuses. Octopi is the scientific spelling, a plural spelling of an octopus. it's not commonly accepted as the English spelling, so you're best to stick to one of these. If you're going to be a scientist, you can use that one. Okay, bloods is another tricky one. We can have a lot of blood on the ground if someone's injured, but bloods means different types of, so just be careful with that one. Octopuses, platypuses doesn't follow this octopodes or octopi. You're using the ES on the end there, so that's a nice easy one. With these verb forms here, remember you're going to be adding the words up the top with either an S, an ED or an ING on the end to form it in its correct tense. Down here you've got to fill in the missing this word. Now it could be a noun, a verb, an adverb or an adjective. There's a bit of a mixture in there for you. The very base of this page you have to make the new word, just follow the prompts and then use it correctly in a sentence. So you're going to have to work out what its form is before you write that sentence. Prepositional phrases. A preposition is a word that includes placement within physical space. So we've given you some examples, time, more examples, and other details. There's some examples there too. They help increase the amount of information in a sentence. So quite often you can, if you look within these grammatical terms, you can get a hint from the words within it. So preposition, we've got the position of something in the sentence. So it's usually the position of it's always the position of the object or the noun. So insert a preposition into the sentences. So we went something to the beach. I received a birthday present, something my brother. You can work out which ones would fit in there best. A prepositional phrase starts with a preposition and it's followed by the object or the noun. The preposition is referring to. The swimmer dove into the water. So into would be your preposition and the water would be your object. So we want you to go back then and underline the prepositional phrases in these sentences that you just completed. Then down here we've given you a whole selection of prepositions that you may use. It might be handy to use them up here too. And we want you to use them to finish off these sentence starters. Down here we're also asking that you look at changing the position of the prepositional phrase in the sentence. So if you want to start your sentence with a preposition, you have to put a comma at the end of the prepositional phrase before you go on to the rest of the sentence. So I found a coin on the sidewalk. We changed it on the sidewalk, which is a preposition and the noun, and then you've got the comma before you go, I found a coin.